I always thought cemeteries, all that stuff was just spooky. I never would have thought that, fast forward, I'd be trying to preserve our black cemetery that's here in Pflugerville. The historic colored addition was more than just that cemetery, it was that entire area. In 1910, black workers in this area didn't have a place to live. These first black families settled in that area, but the families moved on. When families leave, obviously those properties come up for sale, or they're just dilapidated and the city took those spaces back over. We stumbled upon that cemetery. It just looked like just an overgrown field. A lot of the graves at the time just had the electric little flags. We didn't even realize those were graves. I thought, you know, we have a lot of really rich history buried under the ground here. Nobody knows of it. You start to realize the importance of the cemetery. Who's really in charge of this land space? Nobody's really stepping up to claim ownership. And we started to go to work. Basically, Black Pflugerville is here to support, represent, and speak for the black and brown community here in Pflugerville. Also, we're here to protect black spaces like the colored addition cemetery. First thing we did was find a black-owned lawn care service and take care of all that overgrown brush. Yeah, I want to sit there and sit, yep, just like, yep, there you go. Them, along with just countless other organizations, came to help. Myself, I've been out here at least 4 times within the last 3 months. 4 times myself. There's a trauma that I think we all subconsciously have. We're in an area where our population is decreasing. And I just believe that our spaces are just being appropriated. So at least we can honor these spaces, preserve them, and let the families tell those stories, continue to share and tell those stories. We'll never be able to do anything if that's just a covered field.
To preserve, like, why do we still call it color?
We'll do 3.
I won't mess with that, okay?
That preservation of that space is keeping our story, our history alive here. We can't go back and rewrite the history books, but at least we can preserve our spaces because the history is in the ground.
The The Giving Rose Foundation hosted its first ever special flag raising ceremony Saturday morning in Pflugerville to pay tribute to the brave men and women who have served our country and are now laid to rest in this historic colored edition cemetery.
This cemetery was started back in 1920. Blacks had to be buried in separate places, and this was deemed as the historical black cemetery, or the colored edition cemetery of Pflugerville.
The Giving Rose Foundation's mission is to restore and revitalize black and brown historical spaces like St. Mary's Cemetery.
The ancestral heritage, right, of our communities that have for so long been forgotten, forsaken, and overlooked for obvious reasons, that the system was quite different when it comes to the documentation of those buried.
During the special flag raising ceremony, the Giving Rose Foundation honored 11 veterans who have been buried at St. Mary's.
Levi, Brazil. Those soldiers weren't able to be buried downtown at the National Cemetery where our veterans are held. They had to come here. And at the time, they had to use the name St. Mary's Cemetery, Pflugerville, so that they would properly be marked. And that's how we knew that they were here.
Miss Christine Robinson-Jama's family has been laid to rest at St. Mary's Cemetery. She says it's important to honor those veterans' memory and sacrifice.
And this cemetery has come a long way. It was showed a lot of neglect, but now it is actually coming a long way. And we thank the community for coming in and working in this grave site, this sacred ground that is 104 years old.
Miss Robinson-Jama says this is the first flag ceremony and it won't be the last. She hopes to teach the community more about her history with the help of the Giving Rose Foundation. In Pflugerville, I'm Jessica Rivera, Fox 7 Austin News.